Most creators think that if they just go viral, everything will change. That if the algorithm just finally wants to push their content, they'll have made it. And I get it because, girly, that was me. Just 3 years ago. In May of 22, I went from 0 TikTok followers to over 60,000 in less than 3 weeks. And I'll be honest, the high was unlike anything I've ever felt. I really thought I had cracked the code. But what happened next is what I want to share with you guys today. Because in this video, I'm breaking down what happened when I got so burnt out that I was forced to quit chasing trends for an entire year as a creator. And when I say burnout, I don't use it as a trendy buzzword that corporate girlies on TikTok like to use right now. I mean physical disassociation every afternoon, a constant ringing and heaviness in my ears that made it impossible to do anything. I lost clients, I lost confidence. I would finish every single day, crashed out on the couch, unable to physically give any more of myself to anything. My mental health declined, my physical health declined, my relationships, my marriage, and my friendships declined. I finally got to the point where I could literally no longer allow this kind of business management to continue. So I left for an entire year, and I was able to completely change my entire business and ultimately my life. Since then, I've built a multi-six-figure business that now runs independently of whether I ever post another piece of content or not. So now I help other creators do the exact same thing on this channel. So let's start with the rise before the crash, something you might have already experienced on your own journey, or you're currently feeling the effects of potentially getting there in the near future. Like I said, in May of 2022, I created a brand new TikTok account. Within 20 days, I had over 60,000 followers, and the rush was unreal. Every time I refreshed my phone, the numbers were climbing. New likes, new comments, new followers. I could not literally stop pulling down that notification tab just to see what was happening all day long. And for a while, it worked super freaking well. I was on top of the world. Brands were reaching out left and right, offering me like $1,000 to $1,500 for a single video. I remember sitting there thinking, this is it. I have made it. This whole online business thing is about to be the easiest win of my life. But here's the part that like no other influencers are talking about. The higher my numbers got, the more desperate I became for the next hit. It was literally never enough. 60,000 turned into, how do I get to 100,000? One viral video turned into, how do I make sure the next one performs the same? And even though I was making great money, the feeling underneath was not freedom whatsoever. It was pressure. Pressure to produce, pressure to be seen, pressure to keep up. But here's what I didn't realize at the time. The algorithm knew exactly how bad I wanted, maybe even needed those numbers. So I kept posting, I kept creating, I kept trying to feed the machine. But the more I posted, the more the algorithm required of me. And no matter how hard I seemed to work, it was literally never enough. There were always a million other videos being uploaded at the exact same time mine was. And of course, like any reasonable human being, I got so freaking burnout. Because that's what happens when your entire business model depends on whether or not TikTok or Instagram decides to push you out to the right people. And maybe you felt that too. That feeling where you pour hours into creating content only to hit publish and watch it literally reach 200 people. Or worse, the video takes off and then suddenly you feel like you're chained to recreating it over and over and over again just to keep your new audience's attention. My friends, that is not freedom. That's control. That's not a business. That's an unwinnable game. So when I hit that wall at the summer of 2023, I made a decision. I no longer wanted my entire livelihood to be controlled by an algorithm that could literally change overnight without ever telling me. I wanted a business that I controlled, one that I could thrive in even if I never posted another piece of content. So I stepped off TikTok and I stepped off Instagram and I started putting myself where clients were already looking for creators and content marketing strategists. Platforms like LinkedIn, Fiverr, Upwork, even X. And the difference was literally immediate. Instead of begging for attention from strangers scrolling their feeds, I was showing up where people were already searching for the services I offered. Suddenly, I was not chasing opportunities, but instead opportunities were coming to me left and right. At first, I was just landing simple UGC video projects, but as I built relationships, something shifted. Clients didn't want me to just make content for them anymore. They wanted me to be an extension of their marketing teams, to bring strategy, to manage campaigns, to hire and oversee other creators. And here's the part I did not expect. Every time a client asked, hey, do you know how to do this? I got to say yes. I got to expand my skills and I got to grow my service suite. I went from pumping out dozens of short form videos every month to leading marketing campaigns, managing teams, and positioning myself as a creative partner instead of just a freelancer. So here's what happened after a full year of not chasing trends on social media. Number one, my income became consistent. Instead of random brand deals that disappeared as quickly as they came, I had retainer clients paying me every single month. I wasn't stressing over whether the next video would go viral or if it would cover my bills. My business was stable. In 2022, I made $191,000, which was definitely something to celebrate in my first year of being an online business owner. But I was working longer hours and heavier weeks and so much more pressure on my mental health than I did when I used to be a director of marketing in corporate. Fast forward to 2024, when I finally stopped trying to keep up with an algorithm that didn't really care about me at all. And I broke 270 grand, working half the amount of time I did in 2022. Number two, I had agency. My business no longer lived or died whether I posted that day or not. I could step away from content for a week, even a month, and nothing seemed to collapse around me. And that kind of freedom has become absolutely priceless. When I finally did come back to social media, the pressure was released. Posting content was peaceful because my income didn't depend on it anymore. I was posting to have fun, show up as authentic me, and teach others what I had learned over the year or so of being away. Number three, I grew into roles I never imagined. I became the face of brand campaigns. I hired and managed other creators. I moved from content creator to creative strategist, someone clients trusted with the bigger picture of their business, not just the deliverables. And here's the best part. Because I had built real systems, I could return to social media with intention, because content then became a tool to amplify my business, not the lifeline that keeps it alive. That's when I realized something powerful. If your business cannot survive without posting, you don't have a business, you have a dependency system. And I didn't want dependency, I wanted freedom. So here's the takeaway from all of this. Quitting trying to please social media algorithms for a year did not end my career online, but it actually gave me one. Because when I stopped trying to play an unwinnable game with the algorithm, I finally had the space to build real systems. Systems that brought me dozens of inbound leads every single month. Systems that landed me long-term retainer clients instead of those one-off deals I had in the beginning. Systems that turned me into the kind of creative partner that brands want on their team for the long haul. And after proving that framework worked for myself over and over again, I came back to social media with a completely different posture. Not desperate for views, not reliant on virality, but intentional, because my business could technically thrive without it if I wanted to. And that's what I want for you too. If you're tired of chasing trends, if you're tired of your income being unpredictable, and you're ready to build a business that works even when you're not posting, I want to invite you guys into the Paid Content Creators Academy. That's where I teach the exact framework that I built during my year off of social media, the same system that guarantees a steady flow of inbound leads and helps you land high-value retainer clients who keep coming back. You can find the link to check it out in the description of this video and in the pinned comment, or you can also go and watch this video above my head next, where I'm going to go over the PCCA framework in under 15 minutes. It'll teach you exactly what to do over the course of your next 6 weeks to make your first 1,000, maybe even 5,000 with UGC. I'll see you guys over there.